12 years. It's been 12 years since the day I was told that I had a lifelong, incurable disease. I've spent 12 years so far fighting the fight of my life, and it's nowhere near over. I've learned a lot of lessons all these years, and the biggest lesson that lupus taught me is acceptance. The first year, I accepted that I was sick, that I was different, that I had to change a lot of aspects in my life in order to survive. The second year, when I was only 13 years old, I accepted that life was short. This was the year that my lola died, and death became something that wasn't abstract. It became something real. The third year, I accepted the huge amount of laboratory tests and hospital visits I had and will have to make the rest of my life. Every month this year on a Saturday, because I had school on weekdays, I had to go to the hospital. And sometimes, I needed to get excused from classes because I needed to go to the laboratories, and even once, the emergency room. The fourth year, I accepted how important it is to consider my lupus in my big life decisions. This year, I had to decide which college to go to and which course I wanted to pursue. The fifth year was my first year in college, and I accepted the fact that no, I'm not like other people. I needed rest, I needed to avoid the sun, I needed to not get stressed about everything. I needed to slow down, even if everyone was moving so fast. The year I turned 18, I accepted that I needed people. Good people in my life who understand what I'm going through, who help me keep going and keep thriving and keep becoming who I'm supposed to be despite lupus. People who believe in me. This seventh year was the first time I ever experienced GERD. It was because of all the late nights, all the alcohol, all the coffee, and all the good things I experienced in college. I accepted the fact that there's always a negative outcome when I do and eat stuff that do not agree with lupus. The eighth year, I accepted that I can do it. Even if I have this invisible disability, I can do it. This year, I became the president of my organization. Even when in my first year of college, I said, I don't want to join an organization. I might get too stressed. But there I was, becoming president and being a girl boss. The ninth year, I finished my thesis and immediately got sick on the last day of school. My first time out of the country, in Japan, I was flaring. I accepted that sometimes, even when I feel so bad and so sick, I needed to move. That sometimes, I don't get the luxury of rest. This year, 2020, was the scary era. I accepted the uncertainty of lupus. This year, I had red spots all over my skin and I had 5 lymph nodes and nobody knew the reason why. And hospitals during this time were still so strict and HCQs were sold out everywhere and everything was still in chaos. Even I was in chaos. The 11th year, I accepted the effects of lupus in relationships, both the good and the bad. I accepted the fact that I might not get pregnant. And this year, I met different kinds of lupus warriors and accepted the fact that there are a lot of us who feel the same way and who experienced all the same things I experienced before. This past year, I had to learn about my lupus nephritis, and I went through one of the hardest experiences in my life, which was going through shingles. This 12th year, I learned to accept that there are going to be harder days ahead, but I know I'll get through them because I always do. So you should too.